Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally back. College football is back. It already came, but week one is right around the corner. So here are my full game picks for week one. Let's just get straight into it. Go Vols, baby. All right, so for our first matchups of week one, they're coming on Thursday night, and we actually have a ranked game on Thursday night. The 25th ranked Boise State Broncos head to South Florida. So I'm really excited for this one. The line's actually fairly low at Boise State, under 6.5. ESPN Analytics gives them a 64.5% chance to win. So Boise State, for me, they're just a little beaten up and battered. They lost a bunch of good players. Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them to rebound. As you can see, they made the playoffs last year and are now 25th in the rankings. Sorry. Boise State, I think they can still definitely make a run for the Mountain West. The thing about, prediction videos where they haven't played yet is that you just don't know how they look this year. We don't know how Boise State looks this year. They are pretty battered, but first few games we're gonna know how Boise State looks this year, and we don't right now. Looks like their next running back is supposed to be good. Yeah, Boise State. They're one of these like random teams that are somehow good. I am gonna give my prediction to Boise State. I just think their offense is going to be a little too much for South Florida's defense to handle because the over under is 62.5. So that's going to be an offensive game, probably. It's predicting South Florida 28, Boise State 34. I don't really have a ton to say about this game. Kind of odd Thursday night game. But I'm going to give my first prediction to Boise State to beat South Florida. In terms of the easy games, so I'm just going to fly through these easy games. Illinois, Western Illinois. Illinois is 12th ranked. I'm going with Illinois. These are the easy games that I'm talking about. So, like Indiana, Old Dominion. Old Dominion can put a fight to Power 5 teams, or Power 4. As we saw last year, Indiana, Penn State, Nevada, Penn State, Georgia, not Marshall, Georgia. Iowa State's playing again, so this is their second game against South Dakota, Iowa State. Oregon, Montana State. Montana State is good, don't get me wrong, but it's Oregon. Give me Oregon. Oklahoma, Illinois State, Oklahoma, Florida, LIU, Florida, K-State, North Dakota, K-State, A&M, UTSA, A&M, Michigan, New Mexico, Michigan, Texas Tech, Pine Bluff, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Georgia State, Ole Miss, SMU, East Texas A&M, SMU, ASU, NAU, ASU. That's it for those games. But those are the games that I'm not really interested in. I'm definitely going to look back and see how these teams play cuz these are pretty big name teams. And I want to know how they look after week 1. But these are the games that are pretty obvious and I just wanted to throw that out there. Now let's get to like the real big games. All right, so the next game, which is not a ranked game, but is a very good matchup, and I'll be doing ranked games and matchups this week, is Auburn Baylor on a classic Friday night game. I actually will probably stay up watching this and GT Colorado. That's actually funny. I'm watching Sports Center behind the camera. Literally, as I said that, it pulled up the clips for that game. maybe I should talk about it. But Auburn Baylor. So looking at Yahoo Sports, Baylor has a really good defense. It's also fast Baylor team. They're gonna be quick and ready for this game. Auburn, in terms of Auburn, I mean, Auburn was one of the only SEC teams that did not make a bowl last year. Freezes on the hot seat, but Jackson Arnold is a quarterback that I can trust because he has playing experience. D line is supposed to be good. I mean, they're. I think Baylor will win this game. I'm gonna pop up the thing right now. Baylor W. Baylor. I mean, at home, this is big for me. Because if this is at Auburn, you got to take into account the home environment that Auburn has, which is another thing for them. But honestly, they just have too many rocky spots, and Baylor has a good, solid team for me to not pick Baylor. Baylor. It looks like consensus line Auburn under 2.5, but this Yahoo expert is picking Baylor. I would have to agree. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a good game. You should probably watch it. But give me Baylor to beat Auburn. All right, so time for Saturday's matchups. We're gonna try to get as many noon games in as we can to build up suspense for this incredible. You know, I don't even have to tell you the teams, but Ohio State and Texas. So starting with my Tennessee Volunteers playing against Syracuse. So Tennessee against Syracuse in Atlanta. I'm really, really, really excited for this game. I will be there. Tennessee is just they're just a rocky team. This week I'm gonna make a Tennessee prediction video. I'll actually probably make it like right after this one. But Tennessee is just a rocky team for me. I think, but I still think they're gonna win this game. Syracuse lost so many guys last year, apparently. So I just don't trust Syracuse, especially considering the fact that you know this is gonna be a 95 to 5% crowd of Tennessee. It's in Atlanta. No Syracuse fans are coming down with a 13 and a half, under 13 and a half projection for Tennessee. It's not gonna be, like a uh, competitive game in terms for the environment. I think it's gonna be close. I think the ceiling, if Tennessee wins this game, is 3 touchdowns. I think the floor, if Tennessee wins this game, is a field goal, but I would not be satisfied with a field goal. I mean, if it's a field goal difference and Tennessee wins, obviously I'd be satisfied because it was like a very close game. But I mean, I think Tennessee should win this game. They definitely should, and I think they will. Another huge game is Alabama and Florida State. So, Florida State coming off the maybe like the worst year in program history. I mean, honestly, they won 2 games last year, and one of them was against Charleston Southern. So they won one FBS game. It was against Cal. This Florida State team, they've wiped everything. They've gotten good players. I want you to watch Squirrel White this weekend. He was a great Vols wide receiver. He went to Florida State. I think he's going to be playing good on this Knowles team, going to blend well. This is a huge game for Bama. They have to go into a tough environment and keep their cool because this is the game. It's not like a ranked matchup that everyone has, talking about who's going to win. I don't know. We think Alabama is going to win this game, but they need to lock in and not make mistakes. in terms of Alabama, so many weapons on the offensive side. Defense, of course, is incredible. Uh, Florida State, quarterback scares me a little bit. I don't really know who it is actually, so we're gonna find out. Thomas Castellanos. So okay, so he's been playing for Boston College and UCF. So he's been playing in the ACC for a little bit now. You know, the thing about these quarterbacks, and the thing that I have with Aguilar is that for Tennessee is that if you're seeing Sun Belt defenses and going into the SEC, I don't think you're gonna play perfect. Um, if but this guy has seen Power Four defenses, which I like. I like his experience. He played at Boston College for 2 years. Um, New guy for FSU. So he's actually had a good percentage rate. His highest coming last year, 61% of his passes completed. He had 18 touchdowns. So this is a good guy. I'd watch for him and Squirrel. But I just think Alabama is too much, and that's why I'm going with Crimson Tide to win this game. I think ceiling again is 3 touchdowns. For me, this is kind of like a Tennessee Syracuse game, but a little bit different. With Tennessee Syracuse, Syracuse is a better team than Florida State, but it's not at an away environment. So give me Alabama to win this game, but I think it's going to be pretty close. All right, a huge game. That was a long, huge, but a huge game that night at 7:30 is the Battle of the Death Valleys, the Battle of the Tigers, number 9 LSU, heading into number 4 Clemson. This is going to be a huge game. Clemson, I think Cade Klubnik has definitely a shot to win the Heisman. I've been talking to some Clemson fans, and they think Klubnik. One of them thought Klubnik was gonna win the Heisman, which would be crazy. LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier is also in the watch. Um, for me, LSU, their defense has been spotty in the past few years. I think if LSU has the same exact year as they did this year, I think Brian Kelly's on the hot seat because this is such a big program. And mind you, 6 years ago, they won a national championship. And, they're making, what was I think it might have been 2 years ago. It was they made the Relia Quest Bowl or something. So I think LSU needs to, lock in this year. For this game, I think Clemson is going to find weak spots on the Tigers, especially with a Heisman Watch quarterback against a not so great FBS or Power 4 defense. I think Klubnik can penetrate this D, and this home environment is a huge part of this game. I think if it was at LSU, it would be a different story. Give me Clemson in a huge win to beat LSU. And real quick, these are the wins that Clemson needs because Clemson would. Well, I don't think Clemson would be a bye if they still had byes. So, but Clemson beating LSU for me. Another game that's going to be pretty big is Utah and UCLA. I didn't realize this game was going to be this close until I looked at the line. And a lot of East Coasters, including me, will not be watching this game because it's at 11. But, I mean, I would if I could, but I'm not going to be able to stay up that late. UCLA's quarterback, I think their quarterback situation is going to be great this year. They've got Nico Iamaleava, who has seen SEC defenses. He won against a Alabama defense. He won against a Florida defense. He won against, he saw Georgia defenses. UCLA had a huge pickup this offseason for him. Utah was super underwhelming last year after a lot of people projected them to win the Big 12. I think UCLA has a shot for the title, or not for the national championship, but for the Big 12 title. There's a reason why this game is close. I think Utah under 6 is a little low. Is Utah supposed to be good? I actually don't know. So I'm going to find out. Because why is Utah at under 6? Because that's really shocking to me after they had a super underwhelming season last year. They made a bowl, but oh, okay, so they finally got a quarterback. But this guy's from New Mexico. I have a big thing about seeing worse defenses. UCLA offense, so they have to hold up. So they were not good last year in terms of running. I believe they're talking about Utah. No, so UCLA's running was awful last year. 132nd out of 134. And that's for a power 4 team, which is crazy. So UCLA, they need better running. They got Imaliava. UCLA defense should be good. I don't I don't see why I wouldn't pick against UCLA. So I'm gonna go Bruins by a touchdown and a field goal, UCLA, to win this huge home game. Another huge home game is Oregon State and California. So California kind of coming off a spotty year last year. They had hype. Game day went to Berkeley. I think that's how you say it, Berkeley. But they didn't perform, and I believe Oregon State made a bowl last year. Let me check. I think they did, but they did not make a bowl last year. But Oregon State, I think they're gonna bounce back. They've got kind of a tough schedule this year. I see the Oregon State line at 2. I think Oregon State is going to win this game. Very, very close. If you live on the West Coast, one, I don't know why you're watching my videos, because, like, that's kind of random. But two, I'd watch this game. Especially tickets. Like, West Coast, come on. Like, I mean, let's compare tickets real quick. I know these teams are good, but they're good matchups. Like, Michigan, well, Michigan's good, but Michigan versus New Mexico is $78 to get in, and to get into UCLA is 50. To get into this Oregon State game is 30. So I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if you live in Corvallis, I would highly suggest going to this game because I think it's going to be pretty good. All right, so we have 3 more matchups to get to. They're all ranked, and they're all, or wait, no, one of them is not ranked, but they're all after Saturday. So on Sunday we have 2 matchups. We have the Virginia Tech facing South Carolina, who's ranked 13th this year. So this is the second game of the Athletic Kickoff games. I forgot to mention, but Tennessee and Syracuse is in the Athletic Kickoff game. It's another like kickoff game matchup. They're having 2 games this year, one of them on Sunday, so South Carolina, Virginia Tech. South Carolina, their offense I really can trust. I love Shane Beamer as a coach. I think he's a great, coach. South Carolina, I can trust their offense. I don't know about their defense. Kind of lets up some points. I just think Virginia Tech's a little spotty this year, if that. South Carolina finished incredibly last year, almost made the playoffs, had a great run near the end. I think they have a shot to make the playoffs this year. 13 seems high, but it seems right at the same time. Give me South Carolina the big Atlanta win that they need to have a shot at not only Atlanta, but the college football playoff. All right, so I know this is been a long video. We've got two more games, bear with me. 7:30 on Sunday, Notre Dame, Miami, 6v10 convicts versus Catholics. Miami doesn't have a great home environment. Notre Dame does. This is at Miami. I think 2.5 line for Notre Dame is respectable. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Notre Dame wins this game. I just think Notre Dame's too much. They draw in too many big players to lose this one. Quick and easy. Give me Irish. Oh, actually, so you wouldn't know this, but I have a podcast, and you wouldn't know this, but I was doing an episode with my dad. We never posted it. It was during the CFB last year, and we were picking Notre Dame, Indiana, and I picked the Irish, and because leprechauns are Irish, I called them the Leppies. So throughout this year, I'll be calling Notre Dame the Leppies. So give me Leppies to beat Miami. Quote that actually, please. Miami to lose to Leppies. All right, final game on Monday night. TCU and UNC. I think UNC is going to have a little bit of a rocky year. I think Belichick's got to get settled in. I think TCU is going to find weak spots for the Tar Heels. Shout out Right Corner Collectibles, who we will be doing a, video with soon. Give me TCU, baby. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe for more sports content. We will be making more soon, hopefully daily. But for now, Rush is Sports signing off. See you guys. Go Vols, baby! Guys, I am not thinking right now. So I was waiting to do the Ohio State Texas prediction because I wanted to build suspense. I wanted it to be last. Oh my gosh, man, I forgot to do it. I'm literally almost done editing, and I forgot to do it. Thankfully, I'll put it in last so it doesn't mess up any of my text or anything, but I forgot to do it, man. So, and this is like the biggest one. Man, Ohio State, Texas. My keys to the game. Arch Manning played a little bit last year. He sees defense. Texas, Texas has weapons. I think Ohio State does too. Home advantage is huge because Ohio State has one of the best home environments in the country. I think Texas shocks them and beats Ohio State and puts a mark in Columbus and puts not only a mark in Columbus, but a mark in the Ohio Stadium parking lot where Bevo can park next time they play. Texas beats Ohio State. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.